Welcome to Pivot Parenting, where we help parents of teens overcome regret and disappointment to find peace and connection in every situation. I'm Heather Frazier, your parenting expert. Journey with me to discover effective parenting tips, improve family relationships, and build a brighter future for your kids. Buckle up, things are about to get better. Hello, my friend. Welcome to today's episode of Pivot Parenting. I still cannot believe that we're in the 300s. I absolutely love that I have been so committed and dedicated, and you have been here with me learning. I invite you to share episodes that you've loved on social media and tag me, or send them to a friend or family member that you think might appreciate it. As always, I love a review that helps me to rank higher so that people can find me more readily when they are searching on iTunes or Spotify. And today we're talking about belief number 4 in a 6-step belief breakdown that we've been going through. This one's a fun one. And it's been presenting at our house. And let me tell you the unique Frazier flavor. We like to be silly and joke, and there's this viral meme or clip of a kid. He walks out of a fireworks store during the 4th of July, I assume, and there's a news reporter outside, and he's interviewing people about the 4th of July and whatever, and this kid walks out, and it's just him. He's probably like 10 or 12. He's just this little guy, and this interviewer starts talking to him and asking him questions. And this kid just looks at him and says, "Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?" And so this is kind of a phrase in our house. And when my husband and I ask our kids, "Hey, how was your day?" Or "How did your date go? How did the test go?" "Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?" is one of the responses that we sometimes get. Sometimes we get a valid response. "It was a really fun date," or "I think I did okay on the test," or "I think I bombed the test." But sometimes we get really clipped answers that aren't what we want. And we get agitated and we say, "Yes, we would actually like to know." That's actually why you ask someone a question, because you want a valid response, not just some flippant brush off. And they laugh, and sometimes they give us a response and sometimes they don't. And it's affronting. It is affronting. But it is not because they are trying to be rude. It is because they want things to themselves sometimes. I had a client, she came to me, and her 16-year-old daughter was once her shadow and bestie, her shopping buddy, her tell me everything kind of gal. And now this 16-year-old didn't tell her hardly anything. She would go in her bedroom, shut the door, have her AirPods in and a book open, and eye rolls and shrugs and meh, all of these things. Non-committal answers. "Fine, I'm fine. Everything was fine. I don't want to talk about it." I get that one a lot too. I don't want to talk about it. It can be very off-putting. And it's hard to not take it as rejection. And this client, she said, "My daughter basically hates me. I gave her everything. I gave her 2 decades of my life practically. And she just acts like I'm the enemy, like I'm stupid. She wants nothing to do with me." And I get it. I've experienced it, and it hurts. But, or rather I should say, and it is development. It is normal, healthy human development for our kids to want autonomy. Because essentially, we have co-identified. They're part of us, we're part of them. And now they're recognizing that they are their own person. And they push us away, not because they want to hurt us, not because they're mean and cruel, not because they dislike us. but because they're trying to figure out who they are without us, which is really developmentally important because we're not always going to be around. And they need to figure out who they want to be. And so when parents push back, when they fight fire with fire, so to speak, it adds insult to injury. It is okay for us to be hurt by our child not confiding everything in us anymore or not wanting to hang out with us all the time like they used to. That hurts. And it would be weird if it didn't. But as the adult, you and I need to step back and we need to recognize that this is actually what we want. If we have sacrificed 16 years for our child, this is next on the altar to sacrifice, which is what we want, how we want them to want us. And if we can do this right, they come back to us a few years later. They just need to know who they are and carve out a place that is theirs, that we are not part of. And again, this is developmentally really good, even though it hurts, kind of like growing pains. My son's legs would hurt and hurt and hurt, and it's because he was growing so fast. And I think he's grateful for his height. He's over 6 foot, but it still hurt. And we want our kids to want to be part of the family and want to have a good relationship with us. But when we want it so badly that we don't let them develop and go through the growth that they need to go through without us, largely without us, then we're going to stifle that growth and potentially harm our relationship. Hi there. I just want to pause and let you know if you are struggling to make sense of your teen's behaviors, emotions are running wild, and you're looking to turn things around to have the family you dreamed of while rocking them to sleep, I would love to talk to you. I want to give you a special, powerful gift. 30 minutes with me, my friend. You'll walk away with more confidence, clarity, and understanding of what the issue is and your next best step in resolving any situation you bring to me. It's completely free. I love families and want to help yours be wildly happy and successful. Book this call by visiting my website, heatherfraser.com. Remember, Fraser is spelled with a Z-I in the middle. And don't worry, the link is also in the show notes. I look forward to meeting and helping you. As I was talking to Lisa, my client with the 16-year-old, I told her, your daughter isn't pushing you away because she doesn't love you or want you in her life. She's pushing away because she trusts you enough to practice being her own person. And that's when I could see the relief wash over Lisa's face and hopefully over yours as well right now, as it is hopefully clicking that your teen's push for independence, they might not do it pretty, but it's natural and necessary. Fighting it or thinking that it's bad is like trying to stop puberty or thinking that that's bad. And I get it. It feels really bad when your baby girl is all of a sudden looking more like a woman and getting, whether she likes it or not, more attention in that regard. We might not like it, but we still can't fight it. And trying to only makes everyone miserable, and it's putting our energy in the least helpful spot to both your child and to yourself. We want our child to have individuation. That's what it's called. It is their job as a teenager to figure out who they are, separate from you and I. It's a sign of healthy development. So I asked Lisa, do you want a 30-year-old who still needs your permission? And she laughed and she said, no. I want her to be strong and I want her to think for herself, just maybe not today and so all at once. And I get it. The ache is real. When the baby who needed you for everything suddenly rolls their eyes at your existence, it hurts. But here is how we can look at it to provide relief while we mourn the loss of their childhood. That they're not leaving us, that they're actually becoming themselves. And that means that you did it right. And when Lisa loosened her grip, less checking in, more listening, her daughter started to come back around. And this was after working together for a while. It was slowly, it was quietly, but it was willingly, because she wasn't pressured to anymore. Teenagers have this innate sense, and some more than others, as if you have multiple children, you'll see some really push against what they're told to do. And some go along with it a little more happily than others. But human nature, especially for teenagers, tell me what to do and watch me do anything but that. If you know, you know. It's a thing. And when we're telling our child, please hang out with me, please tell me, please talk to me, this is a lot of pressure for our child who, reminder, is trying to think independently. So you can tell them to go to bed on time, and they're tired and they know they should go to bed. But because you said that they should go to bed, they will now stay up another 3 hours. Because that desire to be independent is extraordinarily strong. And we want to use this to our advantage. We want to teach our children how to be the driver's seat in their own life. This is where we want to shift our energy and stop getting them to want to maintain old habits that developmentally are not helpful or appropriate any longer, even though they feel good to you and I. Because they need to know that they can function without us more than we need to know that they need us. And then if we can do this properly, and this is by learning to self-soothe, message me, email me, we can talk about this. It's essentially when something feels bad, it doesn't mean something has gone wrong. And then if we do this properly, our child will circle back because they want to. They have decided who they want to be and how they want to show up in the world, and we have respected that. And so then they will circle back to let us back into their life. And that's the win. That is what we are playing for. And it's a really simple one-step process, which is learn new coping strategies and swallow the desire to lash back. And you do this by remembering it is healthy, it is normal. We want our child to be independent of us. We want to have equipped them with the tools to answer questions for themselves. And of course, we can always ask our parents for advice. I'm not saying that that would never happen, but when that is the pattern, when that is the norm, that's a red flag that something was missed developmentally. We don't want that for our child. Yes, we can always talk things over and it's good to have opinions, but wanting them versus needing them is the position that we want to be very clear on with our children. And that means that we have to let our kid grow up, which means they leave us behind. And if we do it properly, they will come back for us. I was shocked when our oldest, when she was maybe in her second semester of college, she had come home for the weekend and she was trying to figure out classes and a few other things. And she asked my husband and I for our opinion. She wanted mom and dad's opinion. And we were so proud of ourselves later on. We're like, wow, she asked us, like she actually cared. And it's because we gave her autonomy. And it is very, very different and so much more satisfying when your child seeks your advice, not because they have to have it, but because they want it. And it's just gathering information for them to then make a choice for themselves. It is so gratifying. If this has resonated with you, let's talk. I work with my clients weekly, fine-tuning the nuance of conversation, of pain, of expectations. And it is a beautiful, amazing process that I know can benefit you if this episode lands or any of my other episodes. You can go to heatherfraser.com. There's a link in the show notes as well to book a call. And of course, as always, give me a review or share an episode wherever you like to share things that was meaningful to you. And I hope you have a blessed week, and we will talk to you next time.